Europe's captain, Oliver Ortmann, saw his side leap into an early lead against the USA, the holders of the Mosconi Cup. But the Americans, who've won 2 of the 3 transatlantic competitions, have battled back to level the scores in this, the 4th edition of this international 9-ball challenge. The play has been the best ever, with a packed York Hall in Bethnal Green in the East End of London baying its approval. Five points apiece. This is played over 4 days, 25 matches. The first to 13 points will win as we join Alan Hughes.
Ladies and gentlemen, we come to our second match of the afternoon, representing America, the Scorpion and the Monarch. Johnny Archer and Reed Pierce, followed by the proud European pairing of the Golden Nugget and the Essex Exocet, Steve Davis and Ronnie O'Sullivan.
2 members of the US team, Jim Rempe and Earl Strickland, have gone into our commentary box to sit alongside Russ Williams.
Steve Davis and Ronnie O'Sullivan, we talked about him yesterday. Snooker players by profession, real talents, former world champion. Steve Davis won it 6 times. A whole new ball game, to use a fairly predictable pun. They will find it difficult the more games they play, won't they? Because the thinking in snooker and the thinking in pool is completely different.
This is a difficult match for Steve and Ronnie. If they win this match, it's a big boost for them. But Steve's a wonderful guy. I mean, he's one of the nicest oriented billiard players I've ever met. I mean, you know, 3-cushion or snooker or pool. He's one of the nicest guys. He's a funny guy.
Yeah, he is.
But I'll tell you what, I still think he's the greatest snooker player that ever lived. I don't care how many 147 points.
Stephen Hendry might have something to say about that.
So might this O'Sullivan fellow, right?
Yeah, Ronnie is a pure entertainer, and I think you can see how the crowd really warmed to him.
Yeah.
And I guess it would probably be the same if we were in America now with the Mosconi Cup. People like Johnny Archer, the crowd would warm to him.
Well, sure. What it is, he's a fast player like Earl and myself. You know, people want to see fast action, fast-paced. What these snooker players have going for them, though, I mean, the table looks so small to them, first of all, and then the pockets look so big. They just make everything they shoot at.
Ooh,
but the position play is the key in pool, you know, and that's where they get messed up. And the more they make all them shots, they find out, well, that making a shot just isn't getting it. You know, they have to get position on the next ball to do it.
Johnny Archer got 3 balls down there. He'd be very happy with that.
He breaks got a very powerful break.
Powerful break. If you ever watch his extension when he lets the cue stick out over, it goes over the 1 ball, actually.
We were just talking earlier here in the studio. Golden breaks have been few and far between in the Mosconi Cup this year. We had one yesterday afternoon, and we nearly had a second one, I think, in the match you were playing in, Earl.
You mean the 9 on the break?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, at one time, the 9 was just going right towards the pocket. I think they've altered the rack a little bit. Well, they have to. They don't want the 9 to go in every time. It's unethical to watch pool that way.
Yeah. It's a lucky shot when it does go. I know the crowd really applauds when that happens, but it's a lucky shot.
Yeah.
They've meddled with the rack a little bit to stop it from going. There's a system that makes it go.
Sure.
If the balls are gapped in a certain area, it goes in.
And for the benefit of the people who weren't perhaps watching yesterday afternoon, we were talking with you, Jim, about the humidity affects how the ball's performed, isn't it?
Oh,
different parts of the world.
Totally. Well, when the balls are dry, and they're dry out here because of the heat and the lamps from the television and everything, the tables play so much better. But up in the practice room where we're practicing, it's real humid and damp, and the balls are just jumping all over the place.
Yeah.
So it's really not good to practice your position upstairs. You just practice making the shots.
Well, that's a useful bit of information for people in this country who play pub pool. If you're a pub pool player and you lose a lot of matches, just tell your colleagues that the landlord's got the heating up too high in the pub.
You can forget that.
Yeah, that's a very good excuse, of course.
Most people don't realize how scientific this game is.
No, that's
it's
true.
Very, very scientific. And the physics and the geometry of it are just amazing. Believe me.
Yeah. Okay, this looks almost inevitable that the first rack in this match is going to go to America. He's not
He
gonna
made a
miss
great
it.
out here, too.
Yeah.
Made a good shot on one. You got to allow him to sit.
And the first round
Hell of
is
an out.
America.
Clarence.
Yeah. We've thought sometimes that Johnny's play is, what's the politest way of putting this, measured.
Well, he's been in... We've influenced him to speed up a little bit.
Oh, you've had a word with him, have you?
I knew what measured meant, too.
I didn't like to say slow. You know, I'm all for Anglo-American
That was an intelligent
relations.
way to put it, Russ. It really was.
That was my own idea. I just thought measured's a nice word.
That was a wonderful
Well,
one.
he played a lot faster. I don't think he's been slowing up year by year. I guess when he gets to be about my age, he'll really be slow.
Well, I just watched him make a difficult out, and he didn't take no time at all. So obviously he can play faster.
And Reed is a grinder also. I mean,
Guess who's coming to the table for the Raw? Ronnie O'Sullivan. Let's see what he can do.
He's changed his break. He's got one. Oh, they're just sitting ducks. We call those sitting ducks.
Anything Johnny can do, Ronnie can do just as well. He's playing with a snooker cue here. He's not playing with a pool cue because
Sure.
there is a difference, isn't there?
Yeah, those guys can't make the transition to the pool cue that quickly. Or it would affect their snooker game, too, if they tried to. So that's irrelevant to them. They're just going to go ahead and play with the snooker cue.
You got
Sitting ducks, they're called.
Well,
you
the
say.
7/8's a little bit tough.
a little funny, yeah.
He's got some work down there, but actually those were sitting ducks, yeah.
We have an expression in the States when they are sitting ducks, we call it a Cosmo runout.
Yeah.
This ball's curving. Look at it curve.
Well, he had some
You're not
side
complaining
on it.
about the
He was
table now, are you?
Well, it did curve a bit now. Well, this is
He
not
had
golf.
He had
It's not
he had
golf.
some side on it and was curving towards the spin.
But
In snooker terms, people describe Ronnie O'Sullivan, who we're watching now, as a genius. Can you see why that accolade is made about him?
that was a great shot he just made right there. That was a wonderful shot. See, they take most shots for granted. I mean, they're simple to them, but like Jim said, there's more to the game than just potting balls.
You see, to the layman's eyes, myself being one of those, and a lot of the viewers too, these snooker players look as good as you guys.
Sure they do.
They don't look to be inferior players at all.
But the position play is the main
And
thing.
the break. You got to remember, playing 9 ball is just like playing around the golf.
Yeah.
Just like Jack Nicklaus or Nick Faldo playing golf. They get up there, they hit a big drive, then they come down to all these little precarious shots and technical shots, like a mid-5 iron, and he misses the green. He's got a little delicate chip with a tight pin or a little explosion out of the bunker. The same thing occurs in 9 ball. You get up there and you break the balls very hard, and then you become a little more diligent. You have to slow down.
Yeah.
But the break, you want to rev yourself up.
That's
Same
right.
way in golf, same way in tennis. Pool, golf, and tennis are all the same. The only difference is the ball, the stick, the racket, and the court.
Look out, he's going to scratch.
See what I'm saying? That's the only thing. It's the only thing that's different. Is the equipment.
Well, Ronnie O'Sullivan's been breaking the balls awful good. I mean, he broke them against in our match. He broke them real well. He made 3 and 4 balls.
Well, I said something to you, but I'm not going to say it here. It may help the opposition. So.
Yeah.
For the benefit of people who don't know, a scratch is where the white ball goes down from the break.
Yeah, and enough.
Yeah. The difference, of course, between pool and snooker is you call them rails, and we call them cushions.
Yeah.
Is that in snooker you can and you do get a nice bounce off the cushions. You get, what is it, Earl? You called it yesterday, boings in
Well,
pool.
there's a difference. When the table's wet and humid,
Right.
and the elements are
That's if you're playing outdoors,
the
is
elements
it?
are dictating the table. You understand what I'm saying?
Well,
the
no,
elements are humidity.
Okay, fair
Okay?
enough. Yeah.
They're getting in
I'm
the
getting a
cushions.
weather lesson here, aren't
okay, then the ball, yeah, we are all meteorologists, believe me. The ball, when it hits the cushion, it boings instead of bounces. That's when the
Right.
table's humid.
Boing
and the elements
instead
are
of a
controlling.
bounce.
Sure. So you want the ball to bounce and never boing.
Ronnie's looking good here again, isn't he?
Yeah, he just clears up every time he
You
gets
know,
a shot.
he's showing what a great player he is in snooker. Also, I mean, his snooker game's really showing right here, I'm sure.
I think your colleagues have got a heck of a battle on here. The European boys, you know, they're going to give them a run for their money. You should win it, but you might not.
Scratching on a break is devastating.
Yeah.
It's a devastating thing in this format.
This will bring the house down if they win this first round.
Well, there we are. 9 ball goes down. Another rack to Europe. Ronnie O'Sullivan in devastating form so far in this match. Thank you very much, Earl.
Thank you, Russ.
And Jim, we'll see you a little bit later on. Well done on your point once again.
Yeah.
Go and cool off in the players' room if it's possible with all that fast food up there and beer. And let's rejoin our commentary team for the next rack. It is, of course, Jim White and Sid Waddell.
Well, thanks, Russ. Excellent stuff from Professors Rempe and Strickland. You were not watching the Open University ballistics course, but it sounded like it. Agree with you 100%, Earl. This is not knocking spheroids around with a stick. It is sporting appliance of science. And the analogy with golf, perfect. Not just thud and blunder. The cudgel is followed by the scalpel, just like in any operating theatre. This one slightly noisier than some, and you can't see the scars. But this is a tremendous performance by Davis and O'Sullivan. Davis, a man of meticulous preparation throughout his career. He decided that trying to get too much arm or muscular coordination into the break was stupid, so he actually positioned himself rather awkwardly. It's not a pretty stance he takes for the break, but he gets a lot of power into the break with his arm. Reaching for the rest here now, and if Europe take this rack, they take a set against two good uns, Archer and Pierce, to sit in. This would be a tremendous bonus if Davis and Ronnie can stay on track. Jim?
Without a doubt. Ortman putting Davis and O'Sullivan together almost as sacrificial lambs. So if he could pull a point in the O'Sullivan-Davis combination, it would really be a bonus.
Well, there'll be no silence if these lambs win the game. They lift the roof for the York Hall. If the next three fly in, we'll take the rack. Big partisan Euro crowd here. East End of London. As Davis develops the brown.
This is an inspiring performance by O'Sullivan and Davis, to say the very least. The nine's down and they've taken the opening set. Steve and Ronnie are doing the business right now. And they're bringing the crowd into it. They've taken the opening set. Ronnie O'Sullivan and Steve Davis are doing exactly what Oliver Ortman, the European captain, hoped for. The element of surprise, certainly in the game of 9-ball, would have to be theirs. Lagging for the break in the second set. And it looks like the Europeans might have done it. They might just have it. And O'Sullivan has been breaking oh so well, Sid.
First rack, second set.
Cheeky grin, like you was a member of Slip and the Bowery Boys. Ronnie flourishing here, home turf. Sort of character that Fagan himself would have signed up for the pickpocket gang many years ago. Ronnie, step in sporting terms and clean up anywhere. Winning major titles since the age of 17. What's he playing on, Jim?
Doubling the one.
Whoa! There you go! Shot to the maestro!
Bank shots, no problem for the Rocket. Beautifully positioned onto the three. Worth another look. never any doubt. The 3 in, pink 4 next. This is superlative stuff from O'Sullivan.
He really is enjoying this. There's one set up already. This to go ahead in set 2, which could be the deciding set. And it's no fun for the Americans when they're forced to just sit and watch. Ronnie clacking around like a flamenco dancer. The long black position on the 9 elementary. Sticking in uppercuts that John L. Sullivan would be proud of. Here goes the rack.
He's making it look perilously easy. You could give a cue to a guy on the street and he could play this game the way O'Sullivan makes it look. Tremendous performance yet again. The band plays on.
But they're not playing the Star-Spangled Banner, that's for sure. At the moment, fun and games. Top of the Milk Sport here live on Sky as the Mosconi Cup bubbles over.
Right now, the Americans are taking it on the chin. Definitely this European onslaught. Who would have expected
Second rack.
Davis and O'Sullivan to come out of the gate like this?
America to break.
Already 1 set in the bag. They've taken the opening rack here in the 2nd set against the world champion archer and Reed Pierce, the Mississippi Mauler.
Was a slight moment of humor when he saw his nickname. He thought it said Molar. One of his mates said, "So we'll call you Big Tooth."
3 balls off the break.
That's the sort of play they need, the Americans. World champion archer.
The pink 4, the lowest ball on. That's the one he's going to be looking at.
2's already down.
Beautiful shot, that one, but he hasn't finished on the 5, the orange 5.
Didn't plan the kiss on the 9.
There you can see the colors remaining, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 5 left and 5 shots away from taking this rack. The orange 5, the ball on, but obviously no easy shot available there. Maybe looking to play safe, and if he does, he'll be looking to try and hide the cue ball.
The loose wrist.
Tremendous shot. Look at that shot. What an aggressive attacking shot from the world champion Johnny Archer. He knows the only way he's going to win the momentum back is with shots like this.
Absolutely.
And now he's got to get back over the left-hand side of the table. The brown 7 will follow this green 6. This is very difficult right now. He's got so much work to do, not to mention a difficult shot facing him right away. The 8, not nicely placed either, Sid.
No, he might be thinking about a plant possibly after this, but it's difficult.
He's going to try and come back right in behind the 8 to the same pocket off 2 cushions. And that is perfect.
Yeah. Well, it's just the time the Americans would want the reigning world pool champion to the bays. Long black, it needs to stay almost where the black is.
Well, this is, without a shadow of a doubt, a performance desperately needed by the Americans and one worthy of a world champion. Johnny Archer deposits the 9. Reed Pierce quick to offer his hand and try and get the crowd back on their side. 1-1 in the 2nd set here in the 1997 Mosconi Cup. Well, that was a great example of positional play.
5 apiece. The Mosconi stands. The Americans hold it. Won it a year ago at Dagenham. As Rolling Stones say, you make a grown man cry. Well, we ain't seen any grown men cry yet, but we've seen some mountain men, like the Mississippi Mauler, looking pretty fractious down there.
Well, Steve Davis is going to be breaking off here.
First set to Europe, Europe to break.
So here he is, Davis, lining up. Is it profitable? Needs at least one down.
And Sid, I understand, joining Russ in the studio, the European captain, Oliver Ortmann.
Yes, up here in the players' room I am. Oliver, how do you think it's going?
It's going to be very tough for us, but we're tied up 5-5, and I think it's going to be a hot atmosphere right now. But Ronnie and Steve, they're playing well. They've won the first set, and we're still in the game, so we haven't lost yet.
Yeah, they certainly seem to be playing better than they did yesterday afternoon.
Right, they play much better. I played pretty good today again, and...
Yeah, we're not talking about you, Ronnie. We're talking about Ronnie and Steve, with respect.
Oh, well, I'm sorry.
We know you played well.
Well, yeah, Steve and Ronnie, they play pretty good. They play much more better than they did last year, I guess.
Yeah.
And I think they have a pretty good chance to win this one here.
This whole match, the whole Mosconi Cup this year, the way the points are going, you know, the Americans were behind, you know, they've come level to 5-5. This is a very important game. It looks as though the whole Cup this year could go right to the wire.
I think so. I think that we're going to have a 12-12 score in the last day. I think so. Because it's going to be very interesting. We have a lot of experience playing here, and I think it's going to be very tight in the last day. That means tomorrow.
Maybe a few nerves just creeping into this game. You saw a missed shot there.
Sure. I mean, the table it's not easy to play, and it's very slippery. The table is very tough to play, and if you get a little nervous, you make easy little mistakes. It's tough to play.
Okay, well, thanks for talking to us. Get back to watching it on the television up here in the players' room. Back to the commentary team.
Thank you.
Well, thanks, Russ, and obviously Ortmann very concerned of how this one's going to unfold. Steve and Ronnie looking very relaxed, and why not? There's what's facing Johnny Archer right now.
It's fascinating to see the different interpretations here. Earl Strickland's been glowing about the table, running very well. Ortmann says it's sticky. I mean, some of it in the mind, too.
Yes, absolutely. I mean, right now, the Americans dictating proceedings. And what a contact that is from Johnny Archer. Absolute brilliance. And just look at how he's been repaid. Even Davis has to acknowledge a tremendous hit from Archer. And just look at where it wound up.
Well, that was a fluke, the snooker. And just to remind you, 1-0 in Europe's favour in this match. Could break the mould. It's 5 apiece in the overall match. In points. And it's locked at 1-1. Second set. But if Davis and O'Sullivan can take this set, Europe go ahead 6-5.
Yes, right now Steve's looking to get to this top cushion. 2 cushions and down towards the 1. Well, that was never going to be easy. Difficult enough to judge the angles, but certainly the way that's going to react with the side on the cue ball, that's guessing work for a snooker player.
Well, it could be bothering this lad. PS has been sitting down more than he'd want in this. He'd like to get in amongst the balls and have a bash. He's the former winner of the United States Open. Oh, mug.
Absolutely, a losing semi-finalist in this year's World 9-Ball Championship. But right now, bear in mind, there's 1 foul committed. So right now, what Reed Pierce is looking at, he's got the 1, he's got to draw way back the top end of the table for the blue 2. Well, he's going to have to force the white here. He's got to stay on the right-hand side of the table because the red 3, that cluster of 3 balls, bottom middle, Looks like it will pass to the left corner. Reed's just having a look at it to confirm that.
He's got to move about a good 10 feet after the contact to get on the red.
Terrific shot. That was as good as he could do from there. The pink 4, you can see there, cueing very awkwardly, posing no problem. And he's got the natural angle here to get on that pink 4. You can see a full pocket for the 3.
And into the cushion to get on the pink. Oof, I think that would have missed if it hadn't snitched the black.
Still, I don't think that's a very good shot from Reed Pierce. He's left himself far too straight on the 4 ball. Another look at it, just feathers the 8 ball. Certainly helped it. But I don't think it's going to make any difference to Reed right now. He's so concerned with where the cue ball is finished. That just wasn't a good shot, Sid. Certainly not for a player of his reputation.
Can't afford to let Steve and Ronnie in the song they're on at the moment. Be sitting at home. Just a reminder, you have to contact the low ball. In this case, the lowest ball left on the table is the 4. You can proceed through singly by putting the 5 through the 9, or what you can do if you see one sitting, say where the black is, and you can force the low ball onto it, you can plant or cannon a higher ball in, provided you hit the low one. And if the 9 is sitting nice and adjacent to the low ball, you can plant or cannon through to win the game by the short route. It's a vital time. He could so easily lose position here.
Well, there you can see no angle whatsoever to play with. A deep screw back. He's got to try and get right in behind it. And now he's going to have to play a defensive shot because this 5 won't go. I thought he might try and screw that right back to the bottom cushion, leave the 5 either into the center or the top left corner, and at very worst, give himself a position to snooker either Ronnie or Steve, whichever would be playing next. A little surprised at that choice of shots by Reed. And sometimes with these pool tables, you can force the pockets. I think he'd have been able to get to where he wanted to get to.
By forcing the pocket or cheating the pocket, it means that you use the lip. You aim at the far lip rather than the middle of the hole. So that's what he's thinking about now. Will it go in off the knuckle? As Ronnie sits like a coiled spring,
ready to pounce out of his chair. I think we know which one plays next. He's shaking his head an awful lot in this rack.
Ronnie looks like a pirate who spotted doubloons going over the horizon. Here he goes then. Is he trying to cheat the pocket or is he...
Come on, Kim, play something. Play something.
He's been reminded by referee Alan Chamberlain that...
It is an important game, I appreciate it, but 2 minutes plus is a long while.
The referee Alan Chamberlain's reminded him that he's had over 2 minutes on the shot, although there's not a cut and dried rule. He's been given a very strong hint that he ought to make up his mind. It's a very difficult option, as Jim's pointed out, and as Davis's face shows you. Davis wouldn't like this position.
He won't be happy with that. He's left the 5 to the top left corner. O'Sullivan was at the table long before Reed Pierce departed. This is going to pose no problems for the Rocket. 7 to the same pocket.
The Rocket will remind you, George Stevenson and Geordie Ladd's first ever locomotive. Woof. Ronnie is the modern version, the 125, hitting over a ton on the fast stretch. No matter!
None at all. The fans applaud. O'Sullivan back to his chair, knowing he's just staked Europe to a 2-1 lead in the second set. In a set that would take them back to a 1-point lead.
And this rack coming up, a vital one, folks. It's one the Americans can't afford to lose.
The UK boys enjoy is the fact that they're good friends off the table. There'll be a lot of chatter between them, and that will help to comfort the nerves.
Yeah, he's as twitchy as a bear who just sat on Christmas holly, this lad. He's really keyed up for this. I suppose he's one of the juniors, and to the extent of not as experienced as Alexis Strickland and Rempe. Yeah, one is reminded that Strickland's the only one who's won the Stars and Stripes Fest of America in the Mosconi before, Jim. So the rest have an onus of a first in this, representing Uncle Sam.
That's right. This is Reed's first trip to Great Britain. A lot to contend with. Never been on a flight the length of the one that brought him here before.
And maybe he's never been on the other end of the talent facing him. A treasure chest of snooker talent sitting there like two kids at school. He's really nervy.
He is not himself. I can promise you Reed Pierce is a much better player than he's showing you right now. This is what nerves and the pressure of a situation can do. 3-ball combination. Red onto pink to pocket the green in the middle.
That's right, just reminding you that Ronnie has to contact the low ball. It's the red. But you can intermediate shot.
Yes, Ronnie's also considering playing the safety here and just laying that cue ball in behind those two. He's got a little bit of a wall there to place it. Remember, a ball has to contact a cushion after the white and the object ball are contacted.
That's right, the snooker is more sophisticated in this.
Nice touch needed here.
There has to be contact with the rail. Brilliant! That's as tight as the solitary hole at Soledad.
Well, Johnny Archer has shown us a few examples of his table knowledge throughout this Mosconi Cup. He's going to have to show us another one. This would be a Houdini act if you could escape this one.
Right, Jim. Magic pencil, how does he go about getting out of this one?
3 cushion escape. Here. Left cushion, bottom cushion, right cushion to the 3.
Foul.
It's 1 foul committed. There's
And
the
you can
players'
see
room.
the agitation and the tension on Strickland and Davenport. Well, at least one American has been equable as they face going a point adrift. Cue ball in hand means that unlike in 8-ball, where you go back in the D or behind the head string, you can pick the angle of your choice on the low ball. So Davis should scamper through. Jim, any problem, ball?
Nice angle on the pink to softly bring the cue ball over for the orange 5.
using power to get position.
They like it. Why not? This rack.
And the American captain, Nick Varner, just stepped into frame and stepped out. Maybe he doesn't want to watch the monitor.
Beautifully played. Doesn't need to do anything with the white here. This is on a platter for him.
Ortman suggested these were two sacrificial lambs. Davis and O'Sullivan, the snooker players. The captain thought they'd lose to the two experienced Americans. What a turn up for the book.
Well, he didn't want to separate them and possibly weaken another one of the European teams. But Oliver, again, you're looking like a rocket scientist with this pairing.
That's the champ. And there's the winner! Delight in the audience! And upstairs, the captain! Is this relieved as anybody? Europe, go ahead, 6-5!
So Davis and O'Sullivan giving Europe a 6-5 lead. Now we join Varner and Davenport of the USA, who trail Suke and Immonen of Europe by 1-0. But the Americans are leading by 2 racks to 1 in the second.
Oh! Again! You would believe it!
Can't help but feel for Ralph there, though. He'd like to have been able to come up to the table without any controversy, get into his breaking rhythm. I think he hit that a little harder than he wanted to, Sid.
Couldn't expect or anticipate what's happening here. It's like being at the circus when the human cannonball gets stuck in the cannon, the high wire breaks and the clowns start laughing. Incredible atmosphere.
With the cue ball in hand, you have to expect Nick Varner right now to run out these remaining 7 balls. Clinch victory in this set, one the USA need to force a third and decider.
Absolutely. And it's like being on the edge of a volcano with hiccups. The lava flows in the form of crowd response. Even the players get swung along, and suddenly there's silence as the white flies in at the wrong time. Immense drama live on Sky. Even experienced Hall of Famers like Rempe and Johnny Archer, hooked on the atmosphere and the tension developing on the blue bays of destiny.
This is their Ryder Cup right now. He played the snooker. I'm not sure whether he's got it.
Nothing easy for any riders here. Everything gained will be gained by loss of blood, sweat, and accompanied by cheers and jeers.
Well, right now, the escape route for Mika Immonen. He can get to this cushion. He's going to have to play a lot of side to contact the 3. He may be able to bump it towards the middle pocket, but he'd love it to run safe.
Immonen trying to save the second set. The Europeans got the first set. And I can't tell you how important it is. Europe 6-5 up.
Well, cheers from the USA group. They see a chance here for Davenport. He's got to knock this 3 in. Stay the top end of the table for the Orange 5. That's Kim's wife.
Oh, bobbled, wobbled, dropped. The faces of Archer and Rempe saying it all. A descant to the main theme being rattled out on the bays, being echoed by even the most sophisticated of players.
He's got to draw this back for the brown 7, about to where the cue ball is sitting right now. You can cut the air right now with a knife.
We could have a 4th of July scenario. Left of Hull, bottom seats in about 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Lift off. Missed it!
Nothing.
It's about to call Cape Canaveral in the front row.
Nothing but pressure, Sydney. Nothing but pressure. Kim Davenport would knock a 9-ball like that in 99 times out of 100. But this is the Mosconi Cup. You're playing for your country. Watch his head. His head came up. That's like lifting your head when you play a golf shot.
Yep.
Nothing good can come of it. And Suke, to save the set, needs to bank this 9 in.
The bank, top left.
His choice, top left or top right, whatever he fancies.
To save the set. Runs into a nice little angle for the top right.
This 9 to the top right. Kim Varner. Mick Varner knocks it in. They've taken the set and they've kept their hooks alive in this match.
We have takeoff from the US Air Force. Middle of screen. America draw level. 1 set each. We go to a decider. And the captain still smiles. Back here in the Mosconi Cup, we're into the 3rd and deciding set now, and it's all square at 1 rack apiece.
As Immonen breaks off. The table once again devouring balls.
Yep. That adopted stance there. Not quite the full leap into the shot you see with Strickland. But lots of power, lots of control. He could have done with the white being a bit more central, but he'll be happy, Jim.
Absolutely right, Sid.
Played with that sort of power to get position. Wristed, bobbling off angle. He looks determined, this young Finn. Said before, he told me he was on his way to the ice rink, stop off at the pool hall, and he's never looked forward. Spent a lot of my boyhood in the billiard hall above Burton's, eating Oxo crisps, drinking ginger beer and losing me pocket money. Great to see ball sports like pool so popular on telly now.
The Flying Finn is seeing his star rise. Certainly his stock is. This is a terrific breaking out from Mika Immonen. He's taken the third rack in the third set. They lead America by 2-1 and are just one away.
The baby gunner's there, appreciating a great shooter. Woolmania in the East End amongst young and old. Brilliant stuff.
And there's the scene. It's been set right now. Europe one slim point in front. And they're needing, just by the skin of their nose, against America in this match.
But here we have a situation whereby Davenport knows
Europe to break.
the Americans lose this rack.
America to break.
The tension!
Fourth rack, deciding set.
Tension getting even through to the Lord Chamberlain. Yes, the Americans can't afford to lose this rack. And when that kind of thing is going on between your ears, that's when mistakes can happen. Wow! Be relieved that the blue went in. The yellow locked against the costume.
Kim Davenport again executing the break well. That 9 not moving at all. Would like to have finished nicer on the 1 ball, but at least he's the man at the table. The controls are in his hands right now. The shot here, quite possibly, to just flick the left side of the 1.
But there's no wall to take the white to, Jim.
Possibly banking it.
He's going to try and leave the white where the 1 is.
What a shot!
Wow!
Banks straight back the corner. Tremendous shot from Kim Davenport. Fully deserved the kiss on the 4 ball. Have another look at this. Right back at you.
Inspired shot, especially given the circumstances. The Americans can't lose this rack.
That was from the Earl Strickland School of Pool. Didn't hit that one well. Overran. Ideal position. Just got to flick this into the left corner.
Hair flaring like an Argonaut after a blow dry. But again, in thinking position, he missed the pots. So the gem-laden cue whisked in derision.
What a chance for Ralph Souquet in Europe. I don't think he expected to be at the table quite so soon. What's more, if he can knock in a difficult one here, and there's your scoreline once again confirmed, but check the one in the top corner. That's the all-important one. 6-5 to Europe.
And Souquet, definitely the most reliable of the European players. Looking perfect on the brown. And you have to say it, the black and the 9 are elementary for him. He has a nice angle here, and that lad must feel absolutely a downer for Davenport. This looks like being too clear for the Europeans before tonight's sesh. Back on its 7 tonight with some tremendous singles matches. But Europe with eyes will be smiling because they're going into this break till tonight's session 7-5 with this 9.
Back to a 2-point advantage for Europe. They've staved off the American comeback, and they've done it with a flare in their hands in the form of a cue. Fantastic performance from Europe.